A few years ago, America saw a movement that really faced head-on one of the biggest problems facing American democracy and society today, the economic inequality gap. We Are the 99%, a movement dedicated to raising awareness and trying to change the fact that so much of our supposed great country's wealth is in the hands of such a small number of individuals. Unfortunately, the movement, like many, eventually fizzled out, but the fact remains that there is still a large gap between the wealthiest and everybody else. Just one glance at the statistics surrounding the wealth gap will make your mouth drop. 21% of the nation's wealth is held by just 1% of the population. To go on would be redundant and disheartening. It is a serious problem, but it hasn't always been nearly so bad. Post-World War II America was a very prosperous time for many Americans. The American dream was alive and well, at least for the white population. Many worked blue-collar jobs in factories, and only one spouse had to make the bread. Suburbia was at its peak, with white picket fences and green lawns abound. People were spending money in their communities, and America was at its political peak. However, the growth ended in the 1970s, and conditions have just worsened for a variety of reasons. The decline of American prosperity can be attributed to the growing globalization of the world that saw many of the Americans' factories going to places in Asia, as it calls for cheaper production and thus cheaper products for the general public and greater profits for the companies. Technology played a large factor in eliminating many jobs that people without a college education could do. A primary example of this is the bank teller, a position that was once occupied by those without a college education, but has since become replaced by ATM machines. Recessions have created problems for many of the lower class citizens and even the middle class. However, Wall Street got bailed out big time in the Great Recession of 2008 and hasn't really had to pay back anything. The poor get poorer and the rich get richer. The most concerning part of all of this are the policymakers that created a system that favors the rich and more or less aims to destroy the poor. In the past 50 years, the Republicans have favored a more pro-business approach to the economy as opposed to the more favorable pro-market business mold America is supposed to favor. These last 50 years have seen policymakers dismantle the union system, thus wiping out many of the benefits unions could fight for, including wage increases, health care, and retirement funds, as well as general worker rights. Policymakers have implemented tax systems that favor the rich so much that they hardly pay any taxes, while the middle class has the brunt of taxes to pay. To throw dirt into the face of the middle class, the policymakers have decided to cut funding in arguably the most crucial part of American society, education, the thing that can bring the lower class into the middle class into the upper class. This is all bad just for the white middle class, but it's even worse for the minorities of America, who have even less wealth and income than the white middle class by a large margin. Despite the fact that there are many white American families in poverty, it is still much more likely for a minority family to be in poverty. This can be chalked up to the years of slavery, which led to long-term prejudice and systematic racism that the minorities of America face on a daily basis. Can this problem be fixed? Yes, but it will take time and active participation from all members of society, the lower class and the upper class. For things to become more equal, policy needs to be changed and on a large scale. Education needs to become affordable for all, hopefully eliminating debt. A new tax system will need to be implemented where the rich in Wall Street are taxed in proportion to the money they make, while the lower class is given tax relief. In doing so, there will be more money in their pocket, meaning more money they can put back into the economy. Some might say raising the minimum wage to $15 would help, but that is an idea that sounds better on paper than in practice. However, CEOs could take more income cuts and give back to their employees with bonuses and raises. There is not one solution to this problem, but rather a myriad of options that can help curb the disparity between the rich and the poor. These are but a few ideas to help end the problems facing American society and democracy.